So there's a book I'm currently reading that is honestly changing my entire mindset when it comes to things like overcoming procrastination, building more discipline into my life, and just overall creating the kind of life that I really envision for myself, the kind of life that would make me proud to live, right? And I'm sure there's many of you out there watching this video today that are looking for the same answers, that are consistently wondering to yourself, how do I overcome these feelings of resistance, right? How do I overcome this nagging feeling in the back of my mind that I'm so destined for so much greater than the life I'm currently living, but it's so damn hard to overcome the procrastination, the doubts, the self-sabotage, right? All these horrible things that stand in the way of us achieving our dreams. And today, in order to somehow shed a bit of light on that question, I want to share an excerpt from a book that I've been reading that is, like I said, genuinely changing my mindset and really giving me the correct mindset in how to overcome this horrible, bad, evil thing we all know and hate as, well, it's called resistance, right? And so I'm going to read this little section of the book, and I want you to let me know if this resonates with you the same way that it resonated with me, and then we'll discuss it. So the book says, have you heard this story, right? Woman learns she has cancer. Rough. She has 6 months to live. Within days, she quits her job and resumes the dream of writing Tex-Mex songs. I don't know, I have no idea what Tex-Mex songs are. If you know, let me down in the comments, right? But she keeps writing Tex-Mex songs that she gave up in order to raise her family, right? We've all heard this story before. People give up their dreams in order to raise kids and to live the safe life, I would say, right? Anyways, woman's friends thinks that she is crazy. She herself has never been happier. There's a postscript. Woman's cancer goes into remission. So there's kind of like a happy ending to the story that most cancer survivors don't get, right? Anyways, it continues by saying, is that what it takes? Do we have to stare death in the face to make us stand up and confront resistance? Does resistance have to cripple and disfigure our lives? Does it have to cripple and disfigure our lives before we wake up to its existence? How many of us have become drug addicts, developed tumors and neuroses, succumbed to painkillers, gossip, and compulsive cell phone use, simply because we don't do that one thing that our hearts, our inner genius, is calling us to do? Resistance defeats us. If tomorrow morning, by some stroke of magic, right, every dazed and benighted soul, this guy's got some cool English, bro. Benighted soul would wake up with the power to take the first step towards pursuing his or her dreams, every shrink or psychologist in the directory would be out of business. Hectic. Prisons would stand empty. The alcohol and tobacco industries would collapse, along with junk food, cosmetic surgery, and infotainment businesses. Not to mention on pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, and the medical profession from top to bottom. Domestic abuse would become extinct, as would addiction, obesity, migraine, headaches, road rage, and dandruff. This guy's got a good sense of humor as well. Look into your own heart. Unless I'm crazy, right now, a still but small voice is piping up, telling you, as it has 10,000 times before, the calling that is yours and yours alone. You know it. No one has to tell you. And unless I'm crazy, you're no closer. This is where he kind of personally attacks you and me, but this is good. You are no closer to taking action on it than you were yesterday, or that you will be tomorrow. You think resistance isn't real? Resistance will bury you. Some crazy stuff, right? And this, if you're interested in reading this book, is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Absolutely incredible in terms of overcoming resistance. And from what I gathered from that quote alone, not even counting the rest of the book, is that resistance is the thing that we need to be aware of in terms of our fights towards our dreams. It's that feeling, right? Resistance, as Pressfield sums up in the book, is that insidious, horrible little nudge inside the back of your mind that says, nah, don't do this today, right? Save it for tomorrow. You've got time, right? You've got big dreams, but you're talented enough. You'll catch up with those dreams. It tells you that maybe you're not, if you have a more insidious and nasty voice, it'll tell you that you're not good enough for those dreams. It'll tell you that you're not smart enough, that you should just quit while the going's good, and that you should just play it safe like everybody else. I don't know about you guys, but I've fallen into this trap for years of my life, and I've wasted years of my potential as a result of not committing to my grander purpose and to living the kind of life that I would deem something of a life that I would so love to live. A life of purpose, a life of fulfillment, a life of doing what's right for myself and for other people, all because of fear, all because of resistance. So I ask you today, firstly, what is the resistance in your life, and in what ways does it show up? This may be a great journaling prompt for you, right? Get out a piece of paper and really think about it. And as you go about your day, even on your phone, right, just jot down instances of when your mind, your little asshole mind, that funny enough is not always on your side. Take notes of when this mind of yours pops up and gives you an excuse as to why not to do the thing. Write down instances where your mind is almost your own worst enemy, and get curious about it, right? Get really curious and say, firstly, is that true? Is that something that is helpful? But secondly, is that resistance helping me in my quest for greatness? Or is it the very thing that's stopping me and is the very barrier that prevents me from living and growing to my fullest potential? That's step number one, right? Resistance. Identify the resistances in your life. But secondly, I think the biggest thing that this quote at least teaches me is the answer. It's the solution to all resistance, and in other terms, instant gratification, right? The lowly pleasures that we all chase and use to numb ourselves on a daily basis in order for us to forget the dreams that we know, as he mentioned in that quote, the dreams that you know in the back of your mind and in your heart, you know are calling to you. The dreams that you know, if you really pursued and succeeded at, would fulfill you and make you whole and happy and would make you purposeful in this life. Deep down, before even deep down, people always say, I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do. I don't know what my dream is. But honestly, if you ask me and if you ask Pressfield, it's most likely bullshit, because you do know. You are just allowing resistance to lie to you and tell you that that dream, whatever it is, isn't good enough, or you're not good enough for that dream. The resistance is lying to you, because you do know exactly what it is that would light your heart and soul on fire. You just don't have the courage yet, and I emphasize yet, to pursue it. And what I learned from this quote is that the solution and the medicine to overcoming resistance and to living a life that is truly beneficial to you is simply purpose. Identify what it is that you would like to pursue, even if it's just right now. People get this always wrong about this whole idea of purpose, that you need to figure out your entire lifespan from now until you're 80. Bullshit. What is your purpose right now? What is calling to the depths of your soul and your heart right now? No matter how silly it is. It could be dancing, it could be painting, it could be swimming a marathon, it could be cycling, flying helicopters, whatever it is. It could be accountancy. It doesn't have to be this crazy artistic dream. But ask yourself, what is calling to the depths of your soul in this very moment? And what can you be doing to pursue that purpose as much as possible in this present moment before time runs out, before it's too late to do so? Because it's in the fulfillment of purpose and dedicating every action in your life, right? In the Way of the Superior Man, another excellent book that I highly recommend. In the Way of the Superior Man, it is recommended that you align all the activities in your life towards purpose. And even though, yes, that is a highly demanding request that most of us will never fulfill, right? There's always that 10% of everybody's day, maybe 20%, maybe more, if you're lazy like me, where you allow pleasure and instant gratification and comfort to take over your day. But what Pressfield and I can't remember the guy from Superior Man, I'm shocking, bro. I cannot remember, forgive me. But what both authors agree on is that it is the fulfilling of purpose in your life, in as much of your life as possible. That is what helps you overcome instant gratification. It's what helps you overcome the bad habits, the things that hold you back. It's having a grander vision for your life. It's having a big goal to pursue day in and day out that gives you a reason to strive for something greater than sitting on your ass and watching TV and buying fast food for the 5th time today and smoking that crack pipe, right? It's all these things that fall away in the face of your grander purpose. And again, you don't have to figure out your whole life. Just start with asking yourself those 2 questions today. What is holding me back? What is the resistance telling me? Where do I experience resistance in the form of bad habits, thought patterns, self-sabotage? And secondly, what is the purpose that I can dedicate my life to right now that will help me overcome the resistance I experience on a daily basis. And a bonus tip that I want to leave you with today, and this is something that's totally changed the game for me and my mindset surrounding procrastination and building discipline and doing the right things, is that I've always run away from resistance. For so long, I've thought to myself, how do I get rid of that feeling of resistance? How do I feel better, more comfortable? How do I enjoy the process more? But I realized recently that that is the absolute worst mentality you could ever have regarding this topic. Because the further away you run from resistance, as explained in this book, right? You have to pick it up and figure out why for yourself. But as he explains, it's the running away from resistance and obeying the resistance, not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, that makes the resistance grow stronger. That's why the lazier you get, the harder it becomes to actually do the work that you know deep down you want to be doing, because you listen to the resistance. And the only way to overcome the resistance is to dive into it headfirst, is to actually embrace it and realize that every time you feel resistance, that is the calling that you are on the right path. It's the calling that makes you realize that, yes, I'm doing the right thing. If you feel comfortable and happy, chances are you're not doing the work you should be doing. And even when it comes to the things you love, that's the funny part of this book. It talks about the things that we love and we want to do, even those things, the things we really enjoy, they should actually provide the most resistance to you. And so this whole idea of like, oh, at least when I'm doing all the things I love, right? Most of you probably work full-time jobs and you think, oh yeah, when I get to do the things I love, then I'll have no problem with procrastination. It's bullshit. You still will. You'll have it more actually. But that's a good thing. You'll realize that you're on the right path and you're doing the correct things. You should head into the eye of resistance, into the storm. And it's only in doing the work and heading into that discomfort, that feeling of discomfort, right? That's when you'll overcome it. And that's when you'll live the life that you are truly meant to live, because you know you have potential. Don't waste another day not fulfilling that potential. Overcome the resistance, and it's worth it.